Hello and welcome to Supreme Commander Forge Alliance Forever. This is game 4 of the March Ladder Arena, created and hosted by the promotion counselor of Forge Alliance Forever, Mountain or Montana. Put up 150 bucks. This is the result, a best of 7 between Blodir and Turin. We're well into April and I'm still casting this, so I should probably speed it up because the next ladder arena has already commenced and it's going to run for a couple of weeks. So players have a couple of weeks to try and reach their highest possible ladder rating. The two highest players who have 10 wins on the ladder in that time period will play a best of 7 for $150. 100 for first, 50 for second, so even getting into that game is going to be a nice little prize for you. In this one, this is for March, this is the 4th game of the best of 7. We got Turin, and he is in the lead. Let's see, he won, I think he's 2-1 up. And this is the 4th game. Yeah, that makes sense. That adds up. So Turin in the lead. I'm not sure who had the higher ladder rating at this time. Right now, as I'm recording, Blodir has by far the highest rating of the active players. He's still a ways off catching Zoc on the top with 2,500 and something, which is perhaps no one will catch that, but we'll see. So we're on Pizza, Crossfire Canal. The map is chosen by the loser of the previous match, so this is Blodir's choice, as he won, or no, in fact it's Turin's choice, yeah, because Blodir won the last game on Theta Passage. And so we got the first two engineers. First one builds a mech, goes to Hydro. Second engineer goes to Hydro. Next engineers are reclaiming here and also assisting the ACU. Turin is not building a transport out of his factory. You often build a transport very quickly, but instead he's going for interceptors. Blodir, he knows Turin, so he's not going to go straight for a transport. He's afraid of the interceptor rush. Building another land factory here in his base is unusual. You can see Turin at home is building a second air factory, which seems more useful. This land factory is going to be for, oh look, he's stopped doing it. He's run out of mass, you see. That's a problem. So Turin seems to be more sure of his build right now. You can see a lot of assists going on this factory. He's definitely should have air control right about now. If we see how many inties just left his base, we have 4 of them. Blodir, the guy's flying off in a strange direction. Maybe he's afraid he's being chased and doesn't want to lose the intie. Every engineer coming out of this factory is going on to assist the second air factory of Turin more and more. You can see his mass is building up because of that. Assisting the air factory is going to spend power, but not very much mass at all. And it looks like Turin is late to the factory. He has all of these interceptors, but Blodir has just made a transport in that time and already has reached his expansion. He only has 3 engineers on board, and now, yeah, Turin. Oh, Turin's also losing his bomber here, which is unprotected. So this looks like an excellent start for Blodir already. Turin did not get the value out of his build here. He didn't deny the transport. He will kill it now, most likely, but he didn't protect his bomber Blodir sniped it nicely and didn't stop the transport from dropping its cargo to the first expansion. So turn's going to be later to his expansion. But he does still have air control. In terms of, well, if we look at reclaim and also generated mass, Blodir's ahead. The reclaim is pretty even though. Although Turin is going to be slower to get his reclaim. You can see Blodir already has a factory down here, an extra factory in his base. They're going to be for engineers to reclaim all this mass. Let's take a look. There's quite a lot here. Quite a lot of reclaim to be grabbed. And Turin's actually losing his transport as well. Damn. Now he did drop more engineers, so he can maybe expand on his expansion, his this pizza slice a bit faster than Blodir, perhaps. But the main thing is getting another transport as fast as possible and dropping the other side. Blodir is sort of I think he's a bit slow to drop the left side. He's slow to replace his transport. I think he has all of his engineers quite spread out, whereas Turin has all of his right next to his factory, so he quickly makes a second transport after he loses the first. And now Turin's trying to block Blodir from dropping the left side. You can see scouts everywhere and the interceptors here as well. Maybe they should be closer to the middle. The transport's been spotted by this air scout, but does Turin see it? Oh, I think he does. Yeah, he's locked on. And that transport should not land, not with 3 inties on it. There it goes. Important kill for Turin, and now Turin is aiming to steal Blodir's pizza slice. What a bastard. So now another transport for Turin. Oh my god, he's spamming transports probably by accident. Yes, that's an accidental order. So the only thing to do is to find something to do with those transports. So maybe add another factory here, make some units out of this, and start using this extra transport he's accidentally built. Oh, he gets his drop away to Blodir's expansion. He has dropped 4 engineers. None died on board. All cargo was dropped. Now that's quite good. And another transport being dropped there as well. There's going to be a lot of build power here for Turin. I don't think it's going to be possible for Blodir, even if he drops these 5 engineers. If Turin has the mass to spend here and get all these factories up, then it's going to be really difficult for Blodir to take this back. He's also sending his ACU. And he's going to need that ACU. He may even need ACU upgrades to try and take this slice of pizza. So, oh, already a naval factory as well. That's quite early for a naval factory on this map. This Blodir is being chased. He actually has more inties here though. Just interceptors everywhere. So we got the drop here. Took quite a while to get there. You can see there's already PD in the middle. There's 3 factories here. There's Mantis out now. So Blodir is really far behind now on this expansion. But there are upsides for Blodir. For one, he has a T2 mechs. He's making many more T2 mechs. Turin has not even thought about taking up his economy. He's instead going for T2 air. Well, I guess that is going to take up his economy with T2 power, which is quite a lot more efficient than T1 power. But no mass upgrades just yet. That's an attempted drop. But Blodir has invested in... Oh, that's more engineers. That seems ambitious. Well, he can steal some reclaim, but he's not going to be able to do much with the proxy here, I don't think. And Blodir's probably... Well, he sees the transport leaving. That's a telltale sign. There it goes. Maybe it should take a more inconspicuous path there to escape. But, yeah, the engineers are also spotted. Is he even... Well, this is going to be nice mass to steal anyway, so probably worth it to drop there, I think. He could be maybe faster on his own mass. You can see there's still so much reclaim. A lot of engineers are needed to be invested here to take it. And Blodir's column reaches the middle of this expansion and he's met with a PD. And that's going to turn him right back around. He has 5.5 factories here. Look at how many factories Turin has though. And of course the mass stall is going to slow down his production. That's definitely a problem. But he could start getting reclaim here with one of the factories. Just make some engineers, make build power. Blodir turns his ACU back to try and protect his production here. He needs to keep his factories, his engineers alive. That's why he's building this PD here. And yeah, if he loses his production, he has lost the engineers except one. They'll have to be replaced. But he has to keep this production alive. And T2 air may be the way he gets the island back eventually. He has T2 air, he has T2P gen of his own. And he has the mechs upgrades as well. Turin has paused his. He has 2 half finished. You do not want to finish, or you do not want to pause mechs upgrades before they're finished. It's really, it's not good. Damn, these engineers have stolen a lot of mass. I've said this before, but it would be so nice to see stats for how much an engineer has reclaimed. That would be great to have that stat. Hopefully someone can do that at some point. I think Hussar talked about maybe being able to do that. The maker of the Supreme Scoreboard mod, which is this mod that gives me all these nice statistics and things on the top right in the score panel. So this gunship doing some raiding, killing engineers, which is pretty nice because those engineers are going to take a lot of reclaim. And he also killed some mexes. Turin goes back towards the factories to try and just finally secure this expansion. He has so much land here. He needs to maybe invest in some static anti-air turrets at this point. That's the danger is air for him, I think. Now he does have a decent air force, but if at any point he loses that air force, then air is what will do damage to him. T2 land may also be an option once he fully deals with this proxy that Blodir has, but there's bombers coming in. The bombers are actually doing well. Now gunships from Turin need to be protected. It looks like he has less interceptors than Blodir here. Blodir on the other side. Look at this. T2 mexes continues to make more economy and stay ahead on that front. Also in the navy, it looks like Blodir has the upper hand there as well. After assisting his naval factory, he has more frigates, which will be important as the game continues. But right now he still has to worry about this. He's definitely losing his entire base here thanks to the gunships. The gunships sealed it. Quite an investment to put all these gunships here, but he finally closes that off and secures 4 pizza slices to Blodir's 2. And also actually he already has T2 land on this expansion, his first expansion, and Wagner's are attempting to raid. He could get in here, he should get in here to the middle and raid these center mexes. Oh, there's a lot of T2 mexes around. Wow. Now if we look at reclaim, we can see why Blodir maybe has all those. He has more reclaim and he got it a bit faster as well and started ecoing sooner. So Turin has to catch up in those T2 mexes. But he has potentially a lot more T1 mexes. Oh, those 2 mass extractors just got killed and they were upgrading. They would have gotten a decent way, maybe halfway upgraded, maybe a bit less. But that's painful. Painful losses. And this was a T2 mex that's gone down here. And here come the gunships to maybe complete the raid. Maybe he should go for the T2 land HQ. It has quite low HP for the Cybran. Oh, he's not protecting his gunships. Oh, that's a really bad move. Why are his inties over here? That is really Not good. What a waste of gunships. The damage possible from these gunships was very high, but now they turn into a mass nation. He comes back to fight the air fight, and it might be a bad move, in fact. Let's see. Oh, it's a nice micro from him. Not so nice from Blodir. The reason I said it might have been a bad move is because he is going to leave a lot of reclaim over here, and he doesn't have air units at the moment to do damage immediately. So that is going to be a lot of reclaim left from the gunships. There's Wagner reclaim, Inti reclaim. But he got very nice trades on in that air fight. Oh, Wagner's getting into this core expansion, and there's no T2 mexes here, in fact. And there's actually no defenses either. One Wagner is about to come out, but should be killed easily by these three. Now, T2 transports arrive at the furthest expansion to pick up the spare units, and hopefully he wants to drop them across to Blodir's main island. Oh, a ferry route setup. It's not often you see ferry routes on at the highest level, because generally you just want to drop some specific thing to a certain area, but here he has a lot of units and he has multiple transports. He wants them all across there if he can manage it, and he's using his Intis well to stop Blodir and continue killing all Blodir's interceptors. It's gonna cover his transports. Oh god, this could be nasty for Blodir. But he's constantly spamming T1 bombers everywhere to try and deal with the Wagner raids, to try and just do random damage over here as well. These bombers could probably hit some better targets, but oh, the raiding is nasty. There's bombers attacking the Hydro on this expansion. These Wagners have vet levels. They've killed all mexes everywhere. Most of them T1, but still, you kill all those T1 mexes, it's going to take Turin a long time to get those back. The drops land. A T1 mex goes down here. I don't think it was upgrading. There's more units coming, but they have to move immediately, otherwise the bombers could do a lot of damage as they land in such a tight formation. There's anti-air in the base and PDs. So the Intis are dying, and the... Oh wow, it's T3 air in the base. There goes the T2 mechs. Blodir's trying to use his commander to defend the T1 drops, but this T3 air may be Blodir's way back into the game. Because right now, if we look at score, is very even total mass. In fact, Blodir is ahead on that front. Turin is losing... taking a lot of damage on this island. So many dead mexes, and also taking damage here. Oh, Blodir's lost the T2 P-Gen just as he's going to make his T3 P-Gen. And now 3 T2 transports are flying over his main base. I'm not sure why. The damage they can do is very limited, and now they have died. I think that's really a bit of a suicide there. Now a Corsair comes in. just everything just going crazy, and the T2 P-Gen survives. This one is still alive, so most of the power is still alive. Oh, there goes one. So we've lost 2 P-Gens. Still the T3 P-Gen is not finished. Let's take a look at Blodir's eco. He has power. Even if he loses another P-Gen, he can still finish his T3 P-Gen. That's a lot of mass donated as well. Damage was done, but there's quite a lot of mass here now. Those oh damn. This is denied for so long. Turin just can't... I think he's looking elsewhere, really. He's not investing his time into cleaning this up, and it's just been a mess. In the Navy, Blodir could potentially go T2 Navy very soon, once he gets his T3 air up and gets this mass back, because he has total naval control. Frigates all over the place. You see how he spreads them out. These frigates are to prevent Turin from getting back in the water and getting build power here or in any of the lanes. Oh my god. Yeah, this damage is huge. It's really huge. to lose all of these T1 mexes for so long. I know there's T1 bombers coming after the expansion mexes. There's T2 mexes here in the core. More missing mexes, a lot of reclaim that hasn't been taken as well. And Turin is really struggling to just take care of all the problems that are presented to him by the map and also by Blodir. Look at this army of Wagners that's just come across. And Blodir on 40,000 reclaim versus 26 to Turin. Turin has more total mass finally. And actually he has T3 mechs in the base. He has also T3 air of his own, but actually no space to build a T3 PGen. He has to build it down here, not adjacent to anything. That is not ideal for him. This army of Wagners might be able to get in and actually... Maybe Blodir can stage an invasion here. He's sent engineers across. And I mean, Turin doesn't even know what's going on this island anymore. He's completely lost air control now. And there's... Oh, there has to be a strat coming from Blodir. Surely there's a strat bomber. And we have one here. Here's T3 Scout. Complete air control over the base. And this strat bomber can probably just strat T2 mexes with impunity for a long time. Turin does not have a T3 PG. Oh, I spoke too soon. He has one. Just finished. But Blodir knows how to protect the strat bomber. And so even with an ASF or two, it's going to be difficult to catch the strat bomber before it kills nearly every mech on this island. These are all storage as well. Should always go for the storage mexes if you can, obviously. It's nearly double the damage if you kill a storage mech versus just a normal T2 mech that's unstoraged. And that's 2 of them gone already. Another one, and there's a flak stuck to that. And the T2 support factory also died there. Has the exact health that it's the equal to the damage this Cybern Strat Bomber does. So that goes, there goes 4 T2 storage mexes and a T2 support factory. And the strat finally goes down. It sort of stopped moving there, but there's surely even more strats on the way. The invasion is happening on this side. Blodir's stealing mass. He's got Wagner's here. He's got a factory. And he has T2 Navy as well. Cruisers coming out. And he doesn't need to build anything but cruisers. And that's only going to help him in the air. He already definitely has air control. Well, actually it's quite even. But yeah, he does. Thanks to the inties, he might have a couple more ASF. And this looks still quite even. Now the one thing, Turin does have this T3 mech. He's had it a little while and he's actually finishing a second one. But Blodir doesn't even have storages in his base. He's focusing on making more T2 mexes, but he has not responded to the T3 mass extractor. And now there's 2. And maybe those will get Turin back in the game. He has 2 T3 PGens, which is quite nice. That may let him get back into the air game. But it's going to be difficult with the cruisers building up. There's going to be cruisers everywhere at some point in the near future. And they're going to deny a lot of space for the air and a lot of mexes. The Wagners are meeting a foe they cannot defeat. Walled T1 PD. So it brings some Medusa instead out of this factory. A little air skirmish there, but Turin has to run away from the cruiser. It's going to make the difference in any battle between these ASF. And now the Wagners are coming to the main base. I mean, there's not much left to kill here, is there? Blodir's taking the mass extractors here and everything. And so there's many Wagners coming, and this T3 Pigeon here looks very exposed. I don't know why Turin is not making You should always make the factories next to the T3P gen. It's quite a cool building, this ion reactor. But you gotta get the adjacency. Don't do what Turin's doing here. It's not efficient at all. But I don't know if he even needs so much power right now, but he has it. You can see he has more than double the power of Blodir. Blodir's using a lot of Wagners everywhere. This is the only island that hasn't been attacked by Wagners. Instead, it's been attacked by strat bombers and also T2 gunships. These Wagners can find some undefended mexes. You can see already the Navy is limiting the number of mexes that Turin can take. This T2 mex is vulnerable. And even though Turin seemed to have 4 slices, he doesn't seem to actually have more map control right now. Might look on the surface that he does. Oh, there goes that PD very quickly. And the Wagners can take out... surely they can take out a P-gen here. Only 6,000 HP. If they can take out 2, that would be absurd. The AC needs to come down here and start overcharging. Where are the units that are going to kill the Wagners? There's so many of them. They may kill 2 P-gens. There's not even PD here. There's only a couple T2 gunships trying to... Yeah, this P-gen is doomed. This Wagnerhead is insane. He loses a factory there. A couple of Wagners died to the explosion as well. Oh my god. 2 T3 P-gens just died. And it just starts to look worse and worse for Turin. The Wagners are going to die now. Finally. But that hurt. That hurt big time. Let's look at Turin. Well, he's lacking for mass more than anything, it seems. He has 3 T3 mexes, but he's lost so many of his T1 mexes. And also some T2, perhaps. Strat wreck is still there. This map is very difficult. There's so much to be done on this map. Oh, Turin's going to lose his T2 land HQ to Medusa. And look, the cruisers are spreading out across the map, closing off where Turin can use his air. So he's going to try and use some gunships to take out this one. And then use the gunships over here to try and fend off this attack. He doesn't even have T2 mass extractors here. He has to clean up the mess that's just everywhere. Blodir is just harassing, giving Turin too much to do. He can't react to all of it. Can't find the time. Oh, we have some TMLs. But actually, that cruiser can reach this? Or is he ground firing? I'm confused because he's not hitting. Is Blodir ground firing? Well, he's patrolling and the cruiser is just missing, it seems. Or... oh, the projectile is stopping before it reaches the TML. Because it is actually out of range. So it's shooting at something out of range and the projectile just disappears before it gets there. Interesting. Interesting. Maybe we have to increase the projectile lifetime a little bit. But the TMLs are safe thanks to that. But there's some TMD here. And shields. So it's going to be difficult for those TMLs to do much. Also, the cruiser itself has TMD. So it should defend against those missiles. Cruiser TMD is very, very good. Has a very long range. T1 bombers versus cruisers. Interesting decision. It seems to be working somewhat. But yeah, all the bombers are dead now. Still took a fair chunk off that cruiser. You can just easily dodge. Cruisers are pretty speedy units. The T2 land HQ is replaced. But this invasion is getting worse. There's more and more factories. Should see a support factory maybe. That would be good. And then you can get some flak on this island. Oh, the T2 air is here. Or the T3 air is here. Taking out the gunships as they're trying to kill 2 cruisers. And now Turin's fighting air over 2 cruisers. They are only Cybern cruisers, but still, it's not ideal. And Turin loses the air fight. Tries to save the last few interceptors. Should switch on stealth. That will help him escape. But the cruisers, yeah, look at those missiles following him. And he saves a few very wounded ASF. Still no T3 mass extractors from Blodir. Turin has the 3 he had before. He's making more power. He really wants to get back into the air game, but he has so many problems. Still, Wagner's doing nasty things to him all over the place. Cruisers still building up, more and more of them. There's now 8 cruisers, and those can be spread all over. And Blodir has air control on top of that. Blodir, might be time for him to upgrade some more economy. Yeah, there's a T3 mechs on the way. At long last. But maybe some air could seal the deal here. Wow, that's 13 Wagners here. And Medusa. Get I mean, 2-3 T3 gunships or a strap bomber could seal the deal on this one, and the land would be able to walk in. Maybe he can do it without any air support. But he's in a bit more danger. Well, there is only 1 PD here. Excuse me. Turin is... What's he upgrading? Oh my god. Turin is upgrading the teleporter. Turin is upgrading the teleporter. Well, let's see how that goes for him. He's already maybe a quarter of the way through, perhaps. And that's why he has all these P-gens queued up. He's building another one. He's running out of mass though, and he's lost this expansion completely. No air support required. Just Wagner's and Medusa doing the job. And Turin's down to 3 slices finally. He has no radar on his main island. No radar at all. And he's also still making ASF out of this factory. He probably needs to pause that. To speed up his teleport, it's already halfway. But he doesn't have any of the other upgrades, so he's still going to need to make the laser. That's pretty expensive. 4,000 mass, 500k power. It's pretty cheap compared to teleport. 1.5 million power. So it's going to be some time. Blodir should easily be spotting what's happening. And where is his ACU actually? Well, look at that. He's stealth in the water. So even if, well, when this teleport finishes, I mean, how's Turin going to find this ACU? He needs T3 spy planes. And the ACU is here. That's a... well, it's not likely he'll scout that. He's now reclaiming mass extractors to get more mass to fund his laser upgrade and teleport. Probably shouldn't finish this P-gen. It's not really worth to make a P-gen as he's finishing the laser. Oh, his air is also dying to the cruisers. See how nasty it is being just encircled. It's going to be really difficult to find. You can see this red ring. I don't know if you can see it. But that's the ring that will spot the ACU. Because he has stealth. This larger ring is not going to do it. Actually, Blodir moving back towards... Oh, he's moving back towards his build power because... Instead of laser, if Turin spotted the ACU in the water, he could teleport with torpedo on his commander to snipe him, but yeah, laser is not going to help versus this ACU under the water. The only thing really possible is, well, to teleport and kill all of the main base, but look at all these T1 bombers. Those are being built specifically to kill the teleport commander. And he is going to the main base because he has not spotted Blodir's ACU. Here we go. Here comes the ACU through the portal. And he's going to be next to a PD. And he's going to be next to a lot of T1 bombers. He's trying to kill the bombers, it seems. Oh my god, here he comes. Goes straight for the HQ. There it goes. But here come the bombers. And he is killing this entire base. Oh, strap bombers as well are here. Doing some friendly fire damage. Another pigeon goes down. But Turin is not going to last. He's going to queue up the order to teleport away, but there he goes. Oh, he got another vet level. Keeps him alive, but now he gets a headshot from this strap bomber. Incredible that this was lost. That's how I felt every game so far, says Blodir. Well, yeah, Blodir. It is interesting because Turin had 4 slices basically. He won this expansion, but well, Blodir did a better job ecoing for sure, and then Blodir did a lot of damage. I mean, this island didn't really give Turin anything having this extra island. This ended up being the extra one. He got a bit out of this because he got some tech mexes. He actually kept a lot of things alive. He still got raided all around the outside of this slice. This slice took a lot of damage. He rarely had the outer mexes. So I guess the 4 versus 2 wasn't as big a deal. You couple that with Blodir's ecoing early on. Then Turin went for the T3 mass extractors, but I think that was a decent decision, but not having Navy and also taking all this damage from the Wagners just made it more and more difficult. The longer the game goes on, where you have no naval control at all on this map, the worse it is for you. It's only going to get harder. And Turin ran out of ways to do damage and couldn't stop Blodir doing damage. So well played. Both the players. Blodir wins this one, and I think that evens up the score after 4 games. That's 2 each for these players. And yeah, so first to 4, and it's neck and neck. So I'll be back soon with the last few games, and tune in to see those very shortly. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.